afternoon here in Ghana and good morning in the state. This is Atuya. I'm at Agyedem. Agyedem is few kilometers from the Asebu main town and close to Pan-African village as well. And then the chief of this town, the Agyedem, Asebu, also have some available lands that he's selling. It's not given for free. He's selling an amount of 5,000 Ghana cedis, about $500. And some of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora want some plots on the hilltop. We have a lot of people who have purchased plots on the hilltop, and there's still available lands around. When you look around, it's so greenery. Yeah, I'm on one of the hills. Yeah, and then also the processing is so smooth. When I say so smooth, it's not that you are not going to encounter few challenges. I will tell you, sometimes it might be that the indenture that the surveyor is doing for you might delay because of the backlogs at the office or something. But even with that, it doesn't take much time. Within a month or two, you get your document. And then also in terms of the process, what actually happened is when you come around and you want to purchase a land, or through someone like myself or anyone that is assisting you, they bring you around for you to choose whether you want a flat land or you want on the hilltop and all that. And also, after you've paid that amount, there are guys that comes to measure the land for you. The size of the land is 80 by 80. Remember, it's 80 by 80. So they come around, and in terms of do the measurement for you. So those guys that do that, we give them, or you're supposed to pay them an amount of $20. That's about 200 cedis for them to do your marking and also put a pillar on that side for you. And we mount, depending on the size or how many plots you've acquired, then it will determine how many pillars you're going to see. Come here and let me show in terms of, we've mounted some here. We put this pillars here, so when, for example, I come here as a new person, as soon as I see this concrete pillar, it's an indication that the plot belongs to someone. So this is an indication it's already been demarcated and belongs to someone. So when that is done, then as you can see, we have fruit trees. We have some fruit trees on the land, and we have acacia. Acacia is used for burning charcoal or making firewood. So most of the farmers here, the peasant farmers here, do farm on this land, but it's not every space that have fruit trees or the acacia trees. So one way or the other, the chief and his elders in agreement want rather the purchaser, the person buying the land, to look to it that some form of compensation has been given to these farmers in agreement, because they've agreed that yes, they want their community to develop and all that. And it's not every farmland that the chief is selling. It's right certain area or certain portion of lands that he's trying to develop and welcome the African Americans or even the Caribbeans who wants to come and reside in Ghana and all that. So so when you come and you have a fruit tree, this is an orange tree, or the tree there on my left side is acacia tree. So when you find, or even we have some palm trees around, when you find those trees around, for example, we negotiate with the farmer. Sometimes you might find out that we have like 10 trees or 50 trees and all that. Each tree goes for 20 cedis. Yeah, 20 cedis, about $2. But sometimes also I've seen some of our brothers and sisters from the diaspora going all out to make the farmer happy, because remember also the chief does not just take the land from the farmer. The farmer is also given another plot is given to the farmer. Sometimes also you find out that certain generations don't want to go into farming, so they leave the place weedy, bush and all that. So he takes, in terms of the farmer is given another land to start with acacia, because most of them prefer rather going to acacia, because with that one they harvest that tree twice in a year for firewood, and as soon as you cut it start growing and all that. So most of them prefer to grow acacia trees and all that. So it's not that there's a proper agreement between the chief, the farmer, and even the purchaser. So when it happens like this, you compensate the farmer to a way that the farmer becomes so happy and all that. And even one good thing about this is even the farmer is also given a land. If he wants to build a house, he's given free land by the chief as well to build. The farmer, most of the people that are farming here are not from here, or the land does not belong to them. They were given to farm on them, but when they were given, there was a terms and condition that a time will come that they might, the head of the family or the family that owns the land will come and take the land one day. So nothing was exchanged during those generation, or when those farmlands were given. Those terms and conditions were agreed. I think verbally and traditional way of maybe giving some drinks and all that. And it's not that the farmers are losing their land. No, some of the farmers wants to continue. Others feel that they are now old, and their children or their grandchildren didn't follow that trade, so they leave those farms to be bushy and all that. But those that wants to continue going to farming and all that, they are given another vast land far away to start in terms of the farming of it, because as you can see, communities are growing and people are building all over. So sometimes it's not even conducive for them to continue with farming again when houses start coming around and all that. And at the same time also, they don't just go like that. They are also given some talking of like a land. And the good thing is they cannot even sell the land, because what the chief and his elders, that family wants to see is that they also want them to at least do something, burden for themselves and all that. So there's it. And when that process is done, in terms of settling the farmer and all that, you also come and check, or if your representative, after settling the farmer and all that, now can, in terms of the bulldozer, and clear it. But whilst clearing, you can leave the fruit trees, the number of fruit trees that you have on. When you look here, we don't have like an orange grove where the whole place is full of oranges, or the place is full of palm trees or acacia. It's just pockets of palm trees there, 2 there, 5 there, 5 oranges here, 10 acacia trees. So it's all mixed up, and it doesn't also belong to one farmer. We have different farmers working here and there, but as I said, some of them also have gone to their rest in terms of the farmers. So instead of their children continue with farming and all that, they because they are not brought up in a way that they will have that passion for farming, so they've left the farm to be weedy and all that. So we have a proper way of going through the process with proper agreement with those that, because the people that, as I said earlier on, are farming here are not actually the owners of the land. They just came and asked for permission to farm on it, and they are aware that a time comes that the land has to be claimed, but you don't go just empty-handed, because they've toiled, they've done a lot of things. So they even become happy that a certain portion of, or a piece of land has been given to them to build their own houses and all that, which a lot of places in Ghana don't do that. So they are happy with that. So with this one, as I said, you can choose. If you want a low land, you can choose where you want. If you want on the hilltop and all that. When you look the far end there's a lot of grading or clearing that has been done, and people are building on that side and all that. Another good thing is, most of the time, the diaspora is coming around in terms of acquiring a land and building and all that. On that agreement, or with the receipt and all that, it's written that you should try and develop something on that piece of land within 2 years. Okay, the question is, after 2 years, if I haven't done anything on my property, what happens? Do I lose my land, or is it taken away from me and all that? Okay, fine. We have phases. We have everywhere that they want to develop. We have like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So if you've purchased your plot on phase 1, and then time comes, maybe through illness or financial challenges, so you couldn't build or do anything on the land. At this session, Agyedem has to Asebu, the chief don't take the land from you just like that. The agreement is that you are taking from that phase 1, because now probably a lot of people have built there and your place is just left like that. So it takes you away from that section and moves you further to where maybe for example phase 3 going on phase 4. So it shifts you there. But if also you are not satisfied with you being shifted and all that, is either your money is given, but after 2 years you don't lose your land, you are just shipped far away and allow people who are ready to build, at that phase. So this, for me, this another good thing. And yes, sometimes also people ask the question in terms of their indenture and all that. Yes, when the indenture is done, the surveyor submitted to the king's palace, the king's office. There is about 3 people from that family that signs. Not only 1, not only 2, but 3 people are signed, and then the purchaser also, or the person who bought the land also, have one. The person have 1 witness that signs. So about 5 people signs that document, and with that document, with that 4 copies, you are given 4 copies from the surveyor. So you can, if you decide that you still want to do the lands commission registration, you can still take it to the lands commission and register. Some also build with only their indenture, because the indenture officially tells you that you own that land.